Thank you very much, Michael. It's great to be here. I didn't know the business about Mount Gravatt being the place of the resting echidna. That's new to me. What I do know is that echidnas are rather spiky creatures and should be approached with caution. I'm sure that's not true of this community. I'm really pleased to be here. I'm really pleased that you are engaged in a planning process. I would really love to see every parish doing some planning. There's no one way to do it, and plans that emerge don't all look the same. But I think it is true, that old saying, that groups that fail to plan to fail. You know, if you've got a sense of where you're going and what you're working on together and what you want to see happen, and you believe God has led you to that, then that's you know, the heartbeat of the life of a faith community. So good on you for doing some planning. And thank you very much for inviting me to make a contribution to this, because you're not doing this on your own. You know, the parish of Mount Gravatt is not an entity unto itself. It's part of the diocese here in southern Queensland, part of a big family engaged in lots and lots of different aspects of mission. And the diocese here in southern Queensland is part of the Anglican Church of Australia, which is part of the worldwide Anglican Communion. So you are doing this work in a much broader context, which I hope you will kind of allow to inform you as you do this planning together. So it's great for me to be able to introduce to you the diocesan vision statement. You know, this is the fruit of a couple of years of work, which kind of wrapped up about the middle of last year, and produced this statement. Now this document, and it's a one pager really. You've got the marks of mission on one side of that sheet, and then on a single page the kind of diocesan vision document. And in this first session I want to unpack that a bit. And in the second session today, you'll see that one of our values is comprehensiveness, and one of the key focus areas, the first of the key focus areas, is a comprehensive Anglican identity and purpose. So I want to unpack that a bit. Most of the other stuff is self-explanatory, but people say, what do you mean by this comprehensiveness business? So I want to explore that with you a bit. But first of all, the vision statement. Now this graphic you can see of the tree with the kind of praying hands holding everything up. Everything is anchored in prayer. But a flourishing tree with lots of branches and lots of leaves. Imagine that that's a kind of image of the Anglican Church in southern Queensland. Okay, so we're a tree that's flourishing with a huge canopy of leaves. And everything the Anglican Church does in southern Queensland is a leaf on that tree. So you might imagine that each parish is a leaf, that each Anglicare service in the community is a leaf. Each school is a leaf. Each pastoral visiting team in a hospital is a leaf. The group of people who visit in our prisons is a leaf. The group of people called Angli-Green who work on environmental issues and working to tackle climate change is a leaf. Get it? Thousands of leaves. Although you might say, well, we do lots of things in the parish of Mount Gravatt. You know, we're not just our parish. We serve the community. We have 3-4 different congregations. We do a whole lot of stuff in schools, and some of our people visit in hospitals. We're not a leaf, we're a branch. You might be. You might be a branch. The point is each leaf, so you might understand the tree with Anglicare being a major branch with lots of things coming off it. Your parish might be a branch. The point is each of those leaves is a kind of faith community. Charleville is a faith community. And faith communities come in all different shapes and sizes. You know, it might be 5 people out in the middle of the desert, way out in Western Queensland, or it might be 200 people in Mount Gravatt. Both faith communities. And this vision says we want all those faith communities to flourish. We want them all to flourish. And flourishing isn't just about size. It's not just about the number of people involved. So what do we mean when we say we want a faith community to flourish? Well, what faith communities exist to do, all of them, no matter which kind of service they're engaged in or how big or small they are, each of them is about proclaiming Christ and serving their local community, worshipping and deepening their faith, learning, being disciples. So a faith community is flourishing if it's doing those 4 things faithfully and well. If it's proclaiming Christ, serving their local community, worshipping faithfully, encountering God in worship and feeding on Christ, and learning, deepening faith and applying it to life and the world. 5 people out in the bush can do that, or 200 people in Mount Gravatt can do that.